And now Joe Chilano will come in and wrestle at the 145-pound weight class against Thurston Reinhardt of Penn Ridge. And I believe Joe Chilano is also a sophomore, isn't he, Phil?
I'm not sure what class.
He's either a sophomore or a junior, but we're not sure which. But he's another wrestler who figures prominently in the future Norristown. He's wrestled quite a bit of varsity this year. And Reinhardt of Penn Ridge goes in and gets a 2-point takedown. Gets Chilano's legs. Chilano's having some equipment problems here. His headgear came loose. Chilano will now assume the down position. Reinhardt on top. Referee whistles the start. And Reinhardt goes right in on the leg move. Leg control. He's tying up Chilano's leg, breaks him down. He's working upper body. There's not a whole lot Chilano can do there. He's being tied up like a pretzel, but we'll see if he can get up to his base, up to his hands and knees. Now he does. He's got up, but Reinhardt throws that leg maneuver right back in. These Penn Ridge wrestlers seem to like to work the legs, Phil.
Well, I don't know that it's the team as a whole. You know how wrestlers are. They each have their own individual style, although he may emphasize leg wrestling.
He's now trying to work the tight waist, it looks like. Our view's a little bit impaired here, but
But he has a jack handle in it.
Chilano not able to do too much as we come into the closing seconds of the first period, with Thurston Reinhardt of Penn Ridge enjoying a 2-0 lead over Joe Chilano. And the Penn Ridge wrestler defers. Choice goes over to Chilano. And Joe chooses the bottom position. So it looks like Joe wants another go of it on the bottom. See if he can secure a reversal for 2 points or an escape for a point. He goes right for a stand-up. Reinhardt countered that, broke him down to the mat. Reinhardt's trying to work the upper body. He's getting around to the side, trying to head lever. Chilano tries to sit out. Not successfully, however. Looks like he's going for that wrist control. However, Reinhardt breaks him down again. Score is 2-0 in favor of Reinhardt. Reinhardt's got that leg tied up again, and I'll tell you, Phil, when you were talking about staying parallel, it looks like Reinhardt's pretty much staying parallel here. Do you think the referee is going to call him for stalling?
He might just do that because the guy has been flat. And what they have to do is they have to do something to go about turning the guy over. And they're too long in a parallel position. It's a relatively new rule, so it just depends on how up to date some of your officials are too. Now he's going out to the side a little.
Yeah. The official tonight is Richard Stamm.
Now he has the leg in for the great cross body ride. It looks like he wants to go for that guillotine now. Now he's trying to work on it again.
Well, we have 10 seconds left in the second period, and Joe Celano didn't have a whole lot of success in that second period. And Reinhardt was able to maintain his 2-0 lead over Celano. Reinhardt now has the choice for the third period. Looks like he's going to choose the down position too. So let's see if Celano has any more success in the top. Maybe he can throw in a nice pinning combination here to come back.
Well, let's hope so. Most wrestlers do when they get their choice. Unless they're an expert at takedowns, they usually do pick the bottom position because, as you said earlier, it's easier to get points from there. It's a lot harder to turn a guy over than it is to get away.
And Reinhardt right away tries to sit out. Celano breaks him down, however. Reinhardt back up to his base. He now puts in a half Nelson, but Reinhardt stands up, turns in, and gets a 1-point escape to take a 3-0 lead. Now Celano's really got to work if he wants to come back in this one, because he would not only have to get a takedown, but he would have to get some other points in addition to that. Wrestlers went out of bounds. They'll start back in the middle. Celano's got to be aggressive here if he wants to come out on top in this. And all Reinhardt has to do really is look aggressive. Well, Reinhardt shot in on the double leg, and Celano tried to counter by grabbing a leg, but both wrestlers went out of bounds, so they'll try it again.
You remember earlier you were talking about Steve Horner working with the younger kids in the midget wrestling program for West Norristown Golden Eagles. His brother Mark, I just happened to see him, is also one of the coaches for that West Norristown Golden Eagles club.
Yeah. In fact, I believe the Horner brothers were the co-founders of that club, weren't they?
That's exactly correct.
So Norristown owes a lot to the Horner brothers, who were both wrestlers for Norristown High School, and both very successful.
In fact, Steve wrestled for Clarion, who always had one of the outstanding programs.
Yeah. So we got some good men at the helm guiding the program along, and hopefully in the years in the future they'll be vying for the championship spots. Well, and Celano went in for a nice double leg, but when he took them back, they went out of bounds. So Celano probably should have been watching more closely where he was on the mat, but he did have a nice setup there. Reinhardt goes in for a single, but he came in too low. Let's see if Celano can counter that. Nope, they step out of bounds again. And we're winding down. There's only 35 seconds left. Is Celano going to be satisfied with losing this decision, or do you think he'll go for it all here? Looks like he's going for it. Oh! He was in a tie-up, then went down for a double. He's lifting his opponent up. He's got the two. Looks like he's got a 2-point takedown, but he needs more than that now. He's got about 15 seconds to try to put Reinhardt on his back. He's losing 3-2 right now. Well, he certainly went for it. He got it. Reinhardt escaped. If he can get a quick takedown here, he can win the match, or at least tie, but time runs out, and the score ends 4-2 in favor of Thurston Reinhardt of Penn Ridge. So that was a closely contested match there, with Norristown just coming up on the short end of that one. Joe Celano looked like he was really going for it there at the end, but looks like he didn't quite come up with it. But a good effort there by Joe Celano. Well, we're up to the 152-pound match where Thane Gould of Norristown takes on Blair Zartman of Penn Ridge. Zartman goes in for a 2-point takedown. He's on the legs. Although I don't... Okay, he did get the 2. The referee was a little bit slow in awarding those points there. Thane Gould is another one of those wrestlers for Norristown who doesn't have a lot of that experience that some of the wrestlers have. So although he may not figure prominently into Norristown's program this year, he's probably one of those guys that Coach Harner's looking to in the future. Well, Zartman comes in with a cradle on Gould, but out of bounds.
Well, the referee decided that the supporting points were out of bounds. That was very debatable. Penn Ridge coaching staff wasn't too happy with the call.
Well, I guess you can't pin a kid out of bounds, right?
That's the rule.
Again, the wrestlers go out of bounds. Blair Zartman of Penn Ridge, so far well in control of Thane Gould, enjoying a 2-0 lead here in the first period, with 35 seconds to go.
You notice this is a brand new mat we're wrestling on out here, George.
Yeah, it's a nice mat. What happened to the old mat?
I believe it moved down to the middle school.
Well, that's good. At least we can support our middle school program a little bit, as long as they're supporting us.
They did very well at a middle school tournament, a 16-team tournament over at Council Rock on Saturday.
And what did Norristown place?
The Norristown Middle School placed third.
Third out of 16, that's good.
Out of 16.
As we come to the end of the first period, with Blair Zartman ahead of Thane Gould, 2-0. Now we'll see if Gould has any more success on the top position. He wasn't able to reverse Zartman, and the referee calls a caution. Looks like he's calling a caution on the hand placement of Gould. That's not a condition that would award points to anyone. However, if it occurred again, it would. Well, Gould broke Zartman down. Looks like he's going for a chicken wing. He's trying to work the chicken wing on Zartman. Zartman trying to reach back for the leg. He's going for the stand-up now, but he goes out of bounds. Gould able to maintain control. Zartman tries to sit out. Gould still has control. Uh-oh. He turns in. Zartman is able to get a 2-point takedown. He now leads 2-point reversal. He now leads 4-0. And the wrestlers go out of bounds.
Maybe you'd like to venture a guess, George, as to who took the Outstanding Wrestler trophy at that tournament over at Council Rock on Saturday.
Well, let's see. Could it be that young Greg Giovinco, who we've heard so much about?
Exactly correct.
What a guess.
Won at 105. Took the Outstanding Wrestler Award. Also took most pins in the shortest amount of time plaque.
Wow.
Also, Danny Smith took it first at 165 for Norristown.
That sounds good. And as the referee stops a match here, Zartman was attempting a, looked like a guillotine maneuver. However, it became potentially dangerous, so the referee had to call things to a halt. Well, it looks like Coach Harner has a lot to look forward to in the younger ranks.
Hopefully. I know they had a couple of second place winners as well. I can remember the one wrestler, I think he was at 125, was Terrence Chapman. But unfortunately, I can't remember the other two wrestlers that came in second.
Well, if they're watching this broadcast, we apologize, and maybe we can get that information to you later.
It was in tonight's Times Herald, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, okay. Again, the referee stops the match. We started, looks like we came to the end of the second period. There we go. We're waiting for the buzzer.
I know Michael York, whose brother is wrestling here tonight, finished fourth.
For Norristown.
For Norristown in that tournament.
Very good. Okay, we're having a problem with the clock. It looks like the clocks are out of sync. One clock on one end of the gym has 1 minute. The clock on the other end of the gym has 2 minutes. I hope that the timekeeper is aware of that, or he might run into a buzzer problem.
They seem to be looking over and trying to change it.
Yeah. Yeah, the timer is aware of the problem. So I think he's going to have to work that buzzer manually. We're in the third period now, and Blair Zartman has a 4-0 lead, but he's getting some back points now. So he's going to increase his lead over Thane Gold. He's got that cradle in.
The referee isn't really giving us a good chance to see how close to the pin it is.
Well, I did award 3 points for near fall to Zartman, which makes the score 8-0. Now, why he stopped that, I'm not sure.
He said potentially dangerous. Just what the problem was, I'm not sure.
He stopped it as potentially...
Trying to get the clocks working back.
Okay. We aren't having a clock problem. They have them both synchronized now, so the match will continue. Gold tries to stand up. Zartman controlling the leg. Oh, nice attempt by Gold. Trying a little hip toss there. But Zartman keeping Thane Gold tied up pretty well with the legs and the head. I would imagine at this point the Zartman's going to try to go for more points so he can get that major decision and get an additional team point for Penn Ridge. Because as it stands right now, at 7-0, that would be 3 team points for Penn Ridge. Another score here by Zartman, though, would make it a 4-point win. And we have a stalemate, so the wrestlers will start back in the middle again. No significant action going on.
Somebody was hollering out, what about stalling? It didn't look like either wrestler was knocking themselves out right there.
Yeah, these guys both look like they're gassed, but I think that's a moot point with only 3 seconds left in the match. And Blair Zartman is going to come out with a 7-0 lead for Penn Ridge, or 7-0 win, and pick up an additional 3 points for Penn Ridge. That makes the score 23-11 in favor of Penn.